What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the High PSI Performance YouTube channel. So I grabbed the camera a little late this morning. I've already been hard at it. Everybody remembers Robert's car. This is the one that we've done the trans, converter, pro charger, camshaft, you name it. It's one bad SRT8 right here. Anyways, he brought it in this morning. We put an upgraded TCM module in it. And then I don't know if y'all can see right there, we got our upgraded lower control arms installed. So we got those knocked out this morning. So Robert's ride is all ready to go, ready to be picked up. I'll go ahead and step in the shop here to show you what else we got going on. And then we also got the C5 vet in here. Got a bunch of different intake leaks, and then the coolant reservoir actually has a crack right underneath this hose right here. So got a few lines to replace. New intake manifold gaskets are going on here shortly. So we'll get this thing all cleaned up and get the leaks fixed, and get this C5 the C5 running as it should. John's over here wrapping up our Marquise. It's the one that we wrapped, put new wheel lights and stuff on, and then we're gonna wrap the centers. Already wrapped this one. You see, oh, turn them on for us there. Check it out, we're glowing. So got a few things to wrap up on this one, and this one's going home as well. So stick with us, stay tuned, let's get after it. So guys, O'Reilly's just showed up with some goodies for us, so let's get these boxes opened up and get this Corvette back together. So first thing that we did there was went ahead and put some paper towel in the ports on the cylinder head, just to keep from anything going down in there. We're gonna go ahead and get all this area cleaned up, and then we'll flip our intake over and get all of our gaskets replaced on it, and go ahead and start putting this thing back together. But first we're going to go ahead and get everything cleaned up. So as you can see, now our surfaces are nice and clean. We're going to go ahead and get our intake manifold all cleaned up and get our gaskets replaced, so we can go ahead and set that joker back down on in there. Alright guys, so we got our new intake gaskets put on the intake manifold, and we set it back down. I already put our new PCV system on the back side, so I'm going to go ahead and get our brake booster reconnected and our connections in the back made, and then we'll slide the intake back, get her bolted back down. Alright guys, as you just seen in that time lapse, we got the whole top end all back together, everything plugged in. We're going to go ahead and clear the codes and fire this bad boy back up. And then just to kind of verify everything's okay, and then we'll shut it back off and go ahead and get this reservoir back here replaced. So go ahead and do that now. Finally, after long awaited, we have all of our parts in for our fuel system. We're gonna call a makeover, or not really a redo. When the fuel system was done on this car a long time ago, probably like 7 years ago, they didn't build it for E85. This car is on full E, so we're gonna go ahead and get everything converted to nice new vibrant E85 safe fittings and hose. So we're gonna get started on that, and then we've also got a charger here. We're going to be wrapping the hood here on this one in a 3M flat black, and then on this lift over here we've got another charger. This one's a scat pack, and we are upgrading the motor mounts. Normally this isn't something that happens on a car that's so stock, but it's getting solid motor mounts. So at least he's starting with some hardcore stuff right out of the gate, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and get these mounts on and get this hood wrapped. So I've already gone ahead and prepped the surface with 70% isopropyl alcohol. Got all of our edges clean. So we'll go ahead and get our film out and get it laid out. Start laying this stuff down. So I had to pause and reset for a little bit here. I had to grab my heat gun. It's pretty cold this morning and the film's just, it's very tight. So I need to loosen the film up a little bit. We get to laying it back down. So now that we got it all laid, we're gonna go ahead and get it trimmed out and get it finished up. We're gonna put our insert back in and then tidy up our corners and do a post heat, and this wrap will be wrapped up. Trucking right along with our day. You know, we got our roof wrap out, we got our solid motor mounts on our scat pack done. Both of those cars are picked up and gone back to their happy homes, and we are back from lunch, and we got our next two victims in. So we've got this Bug-Eye WRX that's got some leaks, and we're also doing an oil change, so we're going to identify that stuff for him, see if we can't get some of it fixed and get the oil change and get that on back to him. And then John has this Mustang GT back here, and we're pulling the transmission out. Unfortunately, we have a sob story with this one. One of them situations where Buddy or some other shop, I think a Buddy, did the work to it and for lighter terms muffed it up. This gentleman had bought a Ben Calamer stage 2 or 3 built manual trans and a Mantic clutch for it, and we all know how expensive those Mantic clutches are. And then they did an upgraded short throw shifter, and the car will not go into gear and it doesn't want to disengage. So we got to pull it all apart, see what went wrong, and hopefully nothing too serious where we can just get it fixed, put it back together. But worst case scenario, we'll have to pull the clutch out, send it back to Mantic to get it repaired, and then get it back in the car. But we're gonna go ahead and get after it. Stay tuned. So we've got our oil changed on our Subaru, and next thing we're gonna go ahead and do, because we plugged in our scanner, we've seen the fuel trims are way off. You know, it's common with these Subarus to have air leaks and so forth, so we're gonna go ahead and smoke test this thing just to verify that we don't have any strange unknown leaks somewhere, and then we'll continue on testing with our Subaru. And John has got the transmission out of the Mustang, and so far we're not seeing anything that's poking out at us yet. However, we have a sneaking suspicion that maybe one of these plates for the multi-disc is turned backwards. So we're gonna get our alignment tool in and bust this clutch loose and check and make sure all of our plates and friction discs are put together correctly, and we'll go from there. So keep you updated on what ended up being the problem. So guys, our suspicions are true. You see our little homemade smoke tester, better than the $1,500 one off the Snap-on truck. No disrespect, Sean, you're my man. But as you can see, we're leaking smoke over here. So we're gonna go through and find out where that's coming from, and then keep on trucking along. We'll see if anywhere else starts leaking. Alright guys, so as I showed you earlier, the transmission is out, and as you can see, we've got the clutch disassembled. And lo and behold, we found a problem, a big one. And from our deductions, John seems to think, and I definitely agree with John, that's fucked up. And our guess of why this is cracked like this is when they were putting the transmission back in after putting this clutch together, you have to have a little bit of finesse with this shifter assembly in the back, and I guarantee you. So when the transmission was being installed, they probably didn't take care with this whole shift assembly, and they tried to put the transmission in at an angle. So they may have got it through the first disc, but it was not lined up to go through the second disc. You like that? Anyways, it wasn't aligned with that second disc, and they were just jamming it in there. Anyways, you guys get the gist. And in the process of jamming it in there, they ended up breaking this disc. And so with it bent, even though once they got it in, it was riding like that, and as you can see, it is not straight whatsoever. So even when he was pressing in the clutch, you know, it was dragging, and the clutch was never fully disengaging. So we're gonna get this info all over to the customer, and then we also found there was a bunch of stuff on the shift assembly that was not tightened all the way, loose. So John's addressing all that, and we'll get in contact with the customer and get in contact with Mantic and get some new pressure plates for this thing and put it back together the right way and get this man on the road. So that's where we're at with the Mustang. Back to the Subaru. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. As you've seen, we got the hood wrap on that Charger. We had the other scat pack that we got the solid motor mounts installed on, and then as you've seen, that Mustang GT that somebody didn't properly install a clutch. Found the problem with that Mantic clutch on that Mustang. The customer is getting some new parts ordered for that. And then as you've seen, we got that Subaru, we found a leak, did our little smoke test, did an oil change, and made some other recommendations to the customer. But got that one squared away too. All of them are back home, except for the Mustang. We're waiting on parts. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.